And I have to tell you all that I just have the most profound respect for what he's done for our city, for our region, for our state, and for our nation. And we're just so thankful that he's taken the time to come here today to make a special presentation in honor of our 75th anniversary. So without further ado, Mr. Cleaver, I'm turning it over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. If I'm the thing that's between you going home, I just want you to know I understand. I mean, and so don't worry, don't get worried. I actually was a trustee here, and then I was only a trustee for about 6 months, and then Ike Skelton, Steny Hoyer, Jim Nutter, a lot of people lied to me and told me that I should run for Congress because I would only be out of the city a total of about 3 months a year. They all admitted later that they lied, but I did run and obviously resigned from the board of trustees. One of the great joys was coming on this board. At that time, Bob Kipp was also a member of the board, a longtime dear, and still is, dear friend of mine. And I thought this would be something great because I had always gotten such a joy out of the fact that MRI had chosen to make Kansas City its home. And over the years, people would tell me, especially when I was mayor, you don't say anything about M&Ms because they get mad, but my response is that I understand what they're doing, but they don't vote for me. So I have been able to say that all over the time I've been in office. It's a bragging point. M&Ms and Walt Disney, and to make sure people knew that this wasn't a Mickey Mouse community. I mean, we had this institution, which very seriously is one of the most significant things we've had, and to make it for 75 years is a tribute to the leadership as well as to those who make the place work. Both here and in Colorado, you're doing a magnificent job, and those of us from those areas, the members of Congress, are very proud, and that's because you've done the right thing. I want to tell you this, and I'm leaving. I was born and raised in Texas. I spent part of last week down in Texas. I was there actually when the shooting occurred in Austin, and years and years ago, I had an uncle who taken the family from Dallas area to go down to the Gulf Coast to Galveston for summer vacation. And the highway system wasn't as sophisticated then as it is today. And my uncle is a person who knows everything, very smart. He's a Tuskegee pilot, he's brilliant. But he never used maps because, after all, he was brilliant, So he's driving along, and there's a sign along the highway that said "road closed," and so he pulls over to go down this road. And so his wife, my aunt, said, "Don't do this," and he said, "Nah." I said, they do this to try to frighten people off, because they know people like me will take a shortcut. He said, "I'm getting ready to save us 200 miles." And so, the kid's in the back seat, and he takes off down the road. And after about 15 miles, there it is. He can see it very clearly. The bridge is gone. He can't get across the river. So by then, smoke is coming out of my aunt's hair. And she's moved all the way to the other side of the car as far as you could go. And so he tries to turn around without anybody noticing it, and he heads back. And when he gets back to the highway, he can see another sign that says, "Welcome back, stupid." And the point is, you know, when you take a wrong road, you end up in a place that you didn't want to go. And there are not a lot of institutions that stayed on the right road. All you have to do is look around in the graveyard of institutions that were started with a great deal of hoopla, only to melt away like a snowflake in the desert sun. But not this institution. It's here, and it's been here, and you stayed in your lane. And so I'm overjoyed with the prospects of giving you this congressional record. Now, so you'll understand what this is, how many of you are bored and watch C-SPAN because you have no life? Well, nobody raised their hands, they're ashamed. But people watch C-SPAN, and so if you have, as most of you probably have, you see people walking down making speeches. And for over 200 years, any speech that is made on the floor of the House of Representatives goes into the Federal Archives, so that if you want to pick up a speech that John Webster delivered, or Abraham Lincoln when he was in the House, you can go and pick it up on your computer on the floor. And so it's a great joy to stand in what we call the well and make a speech. It's a big deal for us. And this is the speech that I made about MRI in the well of the House of Representatives. And so I did it because it was significant enough. I didn't want to do a letter. I wanted to do something that would be around just as MRI has been around and will continue to be around. Thank you for all you do for this community.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you again. We really appreciate it, and we welcome your support. And you are always welcome here. This is always your home, as well as us. So everyone is welcome to come up and take a look. Please enjoy your cookies and all that sort of thing. And thank you all for coming out. So thank you very much for coming by.
Absolutely.